Speaking of DeAndre Hopkins, John, let's shift gears here. DeAndre Hopkins, since you and I last podcasted with each other, his visit to Tennessee started yesterday. There was a picture on his Instagram stories of him sitting in either a limo or some sort of SUV where they were welcoming him with a TV screen that had him photoshopped into a Titans uniform. So they're rolling out the red carpet in Tennessee. I'm assuming that's still going today, possibly in Tennessee. We can talk about that. But I would say the bigger news is that DeAndre Hopkins is indeed going to visit the New England Patriots. You have staunchly been on that hill of DeAndre Hopkins will not be a New England Patriot as long as Bill O'Brien is there. What are your thoughts that he is? What are your thoughts about him visiting the New England Patriots? I guess this week it sounds like sometime.
Knowing what I know about what those guys said about each other on and off the record, I'm shocked. But there's a reason people say time heals all wounds. So does money. The Patriots have a need. They have a lot of money if they want him. The Titans were here with Mike Vrabel, was here 4 years when Hopkins played, and so he knows all about Hop because he's watched him on and off the field. And the problems that Bill O'Brien had were never on the field, of course. I just can't imagine Hop, who doesn't like to practice in Arizona, that would go up there and play for Bill Belichick, not like to practice, and all of a sudden Belichick doesn't let players play that don't practice. But I'm guessing that if he's going to go visit, then Bill O'Brien, whatever he said to Belichick, didn't discourage him.
No. And these are two teams, John, with an acute need at wide receiver. The Titans passing offense was abysmal last year in the aftermath of trading A.J. Brown and drafting Treylon Burks, who didn't pan out last year as a rookie. We'll see what he is in year two, and maybe bringing Hopkins into the fold helps him out. And then the Patriots have a real need at wide receiver as well. I mean, these are two teams. If you're the Patriots, yeah, you don't like that the guy practices, but he's so clearly better than anything else you've got in that receiving core. And I would say, too, more so with the Patriots than with the Titans, John, because I think the Titans eventually, Will Levis will be the quarterback. It's early with him. But this is a kind of a key year for the Patriots to find out what they have in Mac Jones, is it not? Third year, and then that's where you start to try to figure some things out with these rookie quarterbacks.
Before he was cut up, wanted to play with great quarterbacks for some Super Bowl contenders. Well, obviously, he's got two teams that don't have great quarterbacks and are not Super Bowl contenders. So he's going for the money. Mm-hmm. I don't blame him. No matter how much money you make, you always want more. They both do have the need, as you said. But Mac Jones, people are down on Mac Jones right now based on the season he had last year. Was it because they had Matt Patricia as offensive coordinator? Will Bill O'Brien go back to the Patriots and help them have the kind of offense they had with Tom Brady? And nobody knows, but he should certainly be an upgrade over Matt Patricia. You don't see Bill Belichick making many bad moves, but letting Patricia run that offense, that was one of them.
You don't see him make many bad moves that everybody with a brain saw as a bad move from the second he made it. Like, it's one thing to make bad moves. Like the Astros, like Jose Abreu has been a bad move. But not everybody, but I think a lot of people were totally on. I know I was totally on board with it, and I've been among the most critical about it. So I do caveat my criticism with that with, hey, I liked the signing when it happened. It's just worked out horribly. That Matt Patricia, Joe Judge thing was one from the get-go where everybody's like, okay, what does he do? He's going to hire an OC eventually, right? And he just never did. That was weird.
Some people think because Bill O'Brien had a 2-year commitment to Nick Saban, and he coached Bryce Young both years, that maybe there was an unspoken thing that O'Brien would be there after his 2-year commitment was up. Right. And that's why Belichick did what he did.
Yeah, John, that is a big sacrifice of one of Mac Jones's years under a rookie contract.
I don't know if it's true. That's just something was out there.
No. I'm just right. No, and it's a theory. And I'm poking holes in it by saying, okay, so you're basically throwing the baby out with you're throwing the Mac Jones out with the bathwater when you're doing.
Well, you already did anyway.
Yeah. No. I think O'Brien's an upgrade over these guys, but to go, you know what? Let's wait a year to get Bill, and we'll have these two clowns run the offense, and it might stunt Mac Jones's growth, but he's just the quarterback. What's the big deal? You know.
And a lot of people here don't understand why O'Brien is a big deal in New England.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, the reports up in New England for minicamp and whatnot so far have been pretty positive with O'Brien.
Savior.
Yeah, he's a savior, John. He is. Oh my God. Just don't let him near the GM side of the building. Just let him call his ball plays. Before we get to some for real or fugazis, John, mandatory minicamp starts back up for the Texans tomorrow. You'll be out there on Wednesday, checking things out. I guess what's our first, before we look at, potentially things to watch for at training at these mandatory minicamps, I guess the big thing will be attendance. Are we expecting the slew of veterans that weren't at OTAs, the Laramie Tunsels, the Steven Nelsons of the world? There's a handful of others. Are we expecting them to be here this week?
Tunsil, he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't come to the off-season program, even though he's the highest paid offensive lineman in history, because he knows he's going to step in and he's going to play great like he did last year because he's one of the top tackles. And the truth is, him not being there has opened the door for other guys to get experience there. One that I've found hard to believe, Sheldon Rankins, new defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think he want to impress the new head coach and the new defensive coordinator, not to mention defensive line coach Jacques Césaire, but he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure why Steven Nelson's out. Hope it not because of money, because he's not going to get big money here, but they'll be there, and I can't wait to see Tunsil on Tuesday, and we'll request Tunsil to interview him so he can ask what he was doing, because last year he said he was handling his businesses.
Yeah.
So now I'm sure he's got more money. Since he got more money to spend, he's got more businesses.
Yeah, more money, more business. Yes, absolutely. Steven Nelson has a new agent. You knew that, right, John? He's a Mulligetta guy now.
No, I didn't pay any attention to his
I
agent.
pay close attention.
I had no idea.
Those are my kind of soap opera storylines, baby. Yeah, Steven Nelson's a Mulligetta guy now. So I would assume.
As long as Mulligetta's got C.J. Stroud is there, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about anybody else.
And Stroud has not signed yet, right, John? Is to my knowledge.
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has Will Anderson signed yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Those guys are slotted, and some guys are always holding out because of the technical stuff.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be an issue. Texans, they don't have issues with contracts anymore.
Yeah. Well, they used to not have issues with contracts just because Bill O'Brien would pay 1.5 on whatever the market rate is. You rarely have contract issues when you're overpaying for everybody. People seem to love that.
I was reading a story this weekend about how valuable DJ Reader is to the Bengals, and they're a Super Bowl contender. And I think they gave Whitney Merciless a new contract and let DJ go because he wasn't a pass rusher.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Neither was Whitney. I hate saying that too. Whitney's such a nice guy, but man, that contract, ugh. And by the way, for those wondering, Whitney was getting paid to rush the passer, and he did not.